All right, welcome everybody. Good evening. This is our first ever Sharing Made Easy call that we're doing together. If I'm being honest, there's a lot of things that we could talk about in our time together. I had to really think about like how did I want to do this in a way that was fun, not overwhelming, true to what we like to, we like to be fun and not overwhelming. So I'll be curious for your feedback on what you think of this, but I hope this is helpful to you. I hope this serves you well. Maybe you're here because you have questions about like what does sharing oils look like? Maybe you've already dabbled in it. Maybe you've been doing it a long time. But I think that hopefully you'll find some really good nuggets in here. So we are going to hang out together in this Zoom room for 30 minutes. It might be even less. We'll see. And I just want to take the time to share simple ways that you can earn free doTERRA products, which can be super appealing. It's appealing to me, and I have lots of different oils in our house. But we're talking about amazing oils that I don't want to be out of. So earning free doTERRA products, and also the idea of earning enough money to pay for your doTERRA orders. It's what we call free natural healthcare, but that's like the definition of what that is. Or maybe even you want to know how you could do both of those things. So we will talk about that as well. My goal is to give you options, and then you and your oil girl can hash it out. If you think one of them might be a good fit for you, you can have that conversation. I want to present you with like a little mini menu, a little mini buffet, and you can just see what you think and roll it around. So why did I feel like a Sharing Made Easy call would be helpful, that it was important? Why are we talking about these things? Well, because many of you fall in love with your oils and you naturally share them with those you love. This is how, some of us on this call might maybe have been doing this for years. And if we're honest, this is kind of how it all started for us, right? Just telling people that we know, like, hey, this oil really worked for me. It just kind of happens. And then your friends and family, what happens is they start to see you as the oil girl. Maybe they mean that nicely, maybe they don't mean that nicely, but you're going to start to be identified as the oil girl and knowing things about essential oils. So you want to help them with oils. You don't always know where to begin, which is, again, we've all felt that way on our journey. Sometimes I still feel that way. And also then adding in the dynamic of you want to help them without being salesy or pushy. You just want to help them. Okay. So how can we help you? So the problem, it's not really a problem, but again, you have friends and family that are curious about oils, want help with oils, and you aren't sure where to begin always. Sometimes you might feel confident with it, sometimes you might not feel confident with it. So the solution is that we can come alongside you in caring for them in a low pressure format. That's very important to help them learn more and maybe even try some oils that they might like. So the first thing that I want to talk about, like category, is what are the different ways that you can earn free doTERRA products? We all agree that this is appealing. What are some ways that you can do this? So I'm going to give you two different ways while we're talking here together. Okay. Number one would be to host an oily pop-up. And number two would be if you refer a friend. So we're going to take a look at like more specifically what each one of those looks like. So let's say you're like, oh, I want to know about number one. I want to know about hosting an oily pop up. So we have a class format now. It's called an oily pop up. It's all about recipes for your essential oils. It's 30 minutes in a Zoom room. You would host it by inviting, connecting, reminding your friends. And your oil girl, whoever's supporting you, would send samples ahead of time and run the whole pop up from beginning to end. That would be that responsibility. Some of you have gotten to see Sunday night, I did a sample of an oily pop up. But in those 30 minutes, what we get to go over, like oil basics, experience oils together. That's why we send samples ahead of time. There's a giveaway, which I think is fun. And then going over easy recipes for food, cleaning, diffusing, and even roller bottles. I think it's like a fun, casual, a pop up, fun, casual format to engage in the conversation and support people well and educate them well, which I think is really important. People are more and more familiar with the idea of essential oils, maybe have some at home, but maybe don't know how to use them or use them well. What are some freebies that you can earn? So if you host an oily pop-up, there are like two categories you'll fall into. So if you have 4+ attendees at your oily pop-up, here's a sample. Your oil girl might offer something different, but this is what right now is on the table. If you have 4+ attendees, you would pick from one of these 6 oils, right? I mean, personally, it's going to have to be balanced, but no, you get to pick whichever one you want. And if you have 8+ attendees at your pop-up, you get to pick from one of these 6 oils. You'll notice jasmine's in there, deep blue, turmeric, serenity. Okay, so that would bump you into that category. We're not done though. You could also earn kit number 1 from a wellness track. So if you have 3 enrollments that are over $100, you're going to earn this. You're going to like unlock this. It's a $75 value. You could pick the immunity kit number 1, the relief kit number 1, or the mind and mood kit number 1. If you don't know about these, you should go look. They're really fun. They're really neat. They all have like special products in them. Okay. So let's say maybe you're like, all right, that's hosting an oily pop-up. I want to know about more what it looks like to just refer a friend to my oil girl. Well, here's a really basic example to show that it doesn't have to be weird or complicated. You could start a text group and connect us or your oil girl right with your friend or loved one. So here's an example. Let's say you've got your text group going with Dorothy and Susie Sunshine. Do you like that? Okay, so hey ladies, Dorothy, this is Susie Sunshine, my oil girl. Susie Sunshine, this is my sister, Dorothy. I wanted to connect you two here so you had each other's info. Dorothy, I know that Susie will help you with all your oil questions and needs. And then you let the conversation go from there. Okay, that's not super complicated. I like being able to do it in that format. And then what kind of freebies can you earn if you're referring a friend like that? Well, you could earn a gift just for connecting your oil girl with someone new. And you can also earn another gift if your referral places an order. Okay? All right, so just to summarize then, we talked about the 2 ways you can earn free doTERRA products. The first was to host an oily pop-up, and the second was to refer a friend. All right? Okay, so now I want to talk about what it would look like to earn money from doTERRA to help pay for your doTERRA orders, right? We're going to start talking about the concept of free natural healthcare. All right, so yes, you can earn money in addition to your free products that you're earning. What is the difference here? Well, one of the things would be that your friend or loved one will identify you as his or her oil girl and resource, right? You're going to be more engaged in the supporting and caring for them, okay? And the second difference would be that your loyalty rewards template is going to be 100 PV. Okay, tell me more. Okay, so I'm going to tell you more about that. This is a good thing for you if you're like, oh, I really want to know. Sorry. If you consider yourself in this category, then earning money from doTERRA on top of your free products would probably be a really good fit. If you're ready to help in supporting your friends and family, then this is for you. And if you're ready to have your loyalty rewards ordered at 100 PV, then this is for you. You might already have your order there. In a nutshell, this is kind of what it looks like. So doTERRA will pay you 20% of your new customer's order for their first 60 days of their membership. Okay, so let's just give it, I'm going to give you an example here in a minute, but this is called Fast Start, and doTERRA pays that to you weekly. Here's a little example for you. Let's say your friend Maggie enrolls and she chooses a kit that's $100. We're going to do easy math. So doTERRA was going to send you $20. What if 45 days after she's enrolled, she places another order for $100? doTERRA is going to send you $20 again, okay? So not super complicated. So I just want to recap then that if you want to earn money for money to pay for your doTERRA orders. You're going to be the oil girl for the people that you're helping, right? You're going to be an important resource and care for them. And your loyalty rewards template would be at 100 PV. Okay. So I've summarized that. Now, I think this begs the question, what if you're layering both? What if you're earning free products and you're earning money from doTERRA? So let's just give you an example. Let's say you host an oily pop-up. You have 5 people attend. You're going to earn a free oil. So $20 to $30 value there. Let's say 3 enroll with 100 PV orders. You earn your choice of a wellness series kit, right? That's $75 value. Okay, we're not done yet. Let's say you decide to help care for them and you set up your loyalty rewards order to 100 PV. All right, then you're going to earn an additional $60 from doTERRA, that $20 3 times over. Okay, so this isn't exactly how it pans out every time, but I think it's important to play out a scenario so you kind of have an idea of what that could look like. So what I would encourage you with as far as next steps, right? I would determine for yourself if you think one or a combo of these options might be a good fit for you. You know, what are you thinking at this point? You're going to hear from your oil girl to follow up and see if you have any questions, have a conversation. We're a super low pressure group. We're a group that works hard to serve people well and meet them where they're at well, okay? And next steps would be start earning free products and possibly income too. Maybe you're ready to get a date on the calendar for your oily pop-up. You've got some friends to refer maybe. But I'm sure you have some great ideas of ways that you could do that, okay? All right, I want to take a minute for Q&A. I'm actually going to stop sharing my screen because it's easier. 16 minutes, I'm amazing. Okay, hold on. We're going to take a minute for Q&A.
Aim, I do have questions, but I was wondering if I can meet up with you and just ask them off the recording.
She has private questions for me. I'm just kidding. Yeah, of course.
Are they gonna help me though, Lindsay?
I do, but I just don't want to put Amy on the spot, so I would ask, and then she'll share info.
Cool.
You don't want to put me on the spot. People love putting me on the spot.
Amy, what do you think the best way, like for me, it would be asking people to host an oily pop-up, correct?
Correct.
And what would be the best way to go about that?
Yeah, well, you and I could definitely hash that out, but I feel like, you know, it is a true statement that a lot of our customers are loving their oils and have talked to people about them. So I think it's just along the lines of like, this really made me think of you because I know you love your oils and you really love helping people and you could earn some free products. You know, do you want to hear what that could look like?
Cool.
Probably that's a vague, that's a rough idea, but something like that.
I think
Cool.
if you guys haven't checked out Amy's video from the oily pop-up, I think you should definitely check it out because that's amazing. And especially in COVID times, I think that's an excellent way to reach out to people and see if they're willing to just host something virtual. And like you said, your oil girl will lead you through the entire process. So if you haven't watched the recording, I think you definitely should check it out.
That's nice.
That was an amazing class. It was, Amy, it was really good. And I think anybody that attends it, or almost anybody, they'd be crazy if they didn't enjoy and glean something from it. So it was really good.
So nice. I was like all ready to go hack it up. Thanks, guys. The link to it is in the chat box. So that was really sweet of you guys. Yeah, I did. It might need a little trimming, but I think overall we're pretty close. But yeah. So that link is in the chat box. If anyone wants to see what an oily pop-up actually looks like, I finally recorded one. What other questions? Those are good. If you're on here, like I'm sure Lindsay is thinking, and you have like specific questions, yeah, from a leader perspective, you can reach out to me and ask me. I know we're all kind of asking good questions along those lines. And seriously, yeah, if you're wondering, you know, can I send some friends over or figure that out, then we'll figure that out for sure. But I hope this is helpful. Guys, I'm like 16 minutes. What else? Is that enough? Did it make sense? Did any of it make sense? even remote sense. Look at me. Okay, Jerry's laughing. Yes, Jerry.
I have a question. So just my mind, if it's following along like it's supposed to. So, so let's say right now, so Carla, I enrolled Carla some time ago, about over 3 years ago, and she's a busy nurse. And now she's ready. She's on fire and she's ready to, so would I do the class, or are you and I? So that's where I'm a little confused, just like I've done Essential Oils Made Easy one-on-one with somebody, but it would be kind of like how you and Melissa do the EOMEs now, but it would be me supporting Carla, helping her get the samples to people that she's interested in inviting. And then Carla has to decide, where does she see herself right now? Is it, of the 3 options you gave? Am I following right?
Yeah, no, I think you're doing that well. And truth be told, there are some people that I'm working with right now that are like, not just wanting to host an oily pop-up. They're like, I'm ready to launch my own team and business with Doterra. And so what they're doing is they're scheduling 2 oily pop-ups in a week's time frame. I say max would be 4, but we're doing 2 right now. And I am teaching the first, and then I will co-teach with them the second. And they're inviting, a significant amount of people and saying, I've got these 2 time options. And that's giving, some people are like ready to I want to jumpstart and launch that way. And some people are like, oh, I just want to host and help the people I've been talking to and earn some free products. I'm like, perfect. 1 oily pop-up, I'll teach it. You connect your people to me. So I've started to create a Google Doc that outlines those 2 processes. Here's the breakdown, here's the outlines you use, here's what you do when you do it. So I have those, if that's helpful. Yeah, there's a lot of spinning behind. There's a bed behind me. There's not much sleeping in it because I'm pretty much just here trying to type things into Google Docs.
I don't know how you sleep because your brain's like.
So that was a good question.
Maybe I've got a question, and maybe nobody else is wondering this, but can you just clarify for this group, what is the difference? When would somebody invite somebody to an Essential Oils Made Easy as opposed to what you're talking about, these oily pop-ups are for people who want to kind of dip their toe in a little bit and try sharing. So and they get prizes for doing that or giveaways. Can you just kind of?
Yes. So an oily pop-up is essentially a rebrand of an Essential Oils Made Easy. So think with me, close your eyes and think with me. You are trying to invite 5 of your friends to an Essential Oils Made Easy class, oil basics class, versus I'm inviting you to an oily pop-up with some recipes for your essential oils, which feels like a little more doable, maybe a little more fun, right? I would say an oily pop-up, recipes for your essential oils. So I feel like we're trying to engage that kind of fresh perspective on still covering the basics, but sometimes Essential Oils 101 is wah, wah, just in the title, even though the content is really good. So Mom, my second answer to that would be, we have and will continue to have a weekly Essential Oils Made Easy class. If you just want to send somebody there and be like, I don't mean this unkindly, here they are, then that exists. If that's well, that's where I'm at. My life is busy. I don't even want to host a super casual thing. That's still there and exists. If you want kind of that fun pop-up, get that rolling and earn some free, then that's more of the oily pop-up. I hope that makes sense.
I thought
Hey,
that was
Amy.
great. Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Can I ask a really quick question? I love the pop-up idea because I would like to participate a little bit as a host, but I'm not there in the knowledge of understanding all of what the oils can do and the recipes. But I know that me inviting my friends, me hosting it for the beginning, and then kind of sending it over to you or Melissa would be the recipe that I'm looking for. So I'm hoping that's what I'm hearing from you, because the 101 is really fast, and I just would love me to be a part of that with the people I know. But I'm not ready to jump in saying, oh gosh, you got to do this and this and this because because I don't know all that much, but they need to hear from me to know that I'm backing it and I support it and I'm excited about it. So I'd love to do the pop-up idea. So I'm kind of confused. Who is hosting? Can it be me or do I have to bring somebody in to host? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to try and answer this well for you. So what was recorded on Sunday night, like nobody was hosting that for me. So there's a little bit of a nuance that you guys missed. If like, let's say Melissa is like kind of dabbling in oils, but loves them, wants to share them with her friends. So I say to Melissa, do you want to host an oily pop-up? And so then in that 30 minutes in Zoom, Melissa would be on saying, this is what I'm hosting. This is why I wanted to do it. Melissa would say, this is the oil that, like the 3 oils that I use every day, or this is a recipe that I love, and I want to share this. So the host will be inserted into the class in a way that like doesn't make them sweaty, makes them like comfortable and they would feel good about, but gets that voice in that class in that way. Does that
And like you said, it would be Melissa's guests, correct?
Right, but I think just alluding to like that whoever is hosting it will get a voice in that, will like insert their personality and things that they like into what's going on. Pam, I'm going to come back to you in a second because Kyra asked a really good question in the chat. She said, when I host an oily pop-up, can we tailor the class to the people attending, like specific to their concerns, new moms, kids, etc.? Yes, 1,000 times yes. Maybe you're like, I know we for sure need to talk about these health goals or these kinds of recipes, or only that can be swapped out in a jiffy. So yes, definitely. Okay, Pam, did I even come like this close to answering your question a little bit? Tell me what I'm missing.
Okay, I'm going to try one more time. I am believing that I am the host, not a friend of mine, and I'm introducing people to something I love. But Melissa is my oil girl, and she's going to back me up with more knowledge than I have while I'm hosting. Because I could host, already in my head, I could host unbelievably amount of people. I just can't, and I want my voice to be in there because they trust me, but I want Melissa's expertise to help with those hard questions. And, oh no, Pam, or Susie, this is the oil you should try. So am I hitting that right? Is that the way I'm seeing it? And I don't care if I get the oil or not as the gift. I just want to introduce these people. And I will tell you, I'm hearing more people will just pay the $35 so they can start testing other than buying a kit. And though that's not the optimum, I understand, that's kind of the way I'm hearing people talking. So I'll shut up so you can answer. Sorry.
No, you're good. Pam, what I hear in you is like a desire to like customize the experience to exactly what you want for your people. And that is what you get to do with this. So, you and Melissa in a Zoom would be able to be like, okay, like this is what I want it to look like, this is how involved I want to be, and kind of back into it and figure it out that way. Because you're at the point of the conversation where like, you're ready to kind of write your own ticket and figure that out, right? More hands-on, more engaged, like how can we do this? And that is like a very important conversation. And I think that will help those things fall into place, but those are good things. Okay. Well, hopefully I haven't done more harm than good. Are we ending at 8:29-ish? Worse or better than we came at 8:01? That is the real question. Okay, some thumbs up. Okay, some inspiration. But these are all good questions. Keep asking questions. I am still, I'm working on this. I'm trying to figure this out, but I realize, oh, thanks, thumbs up. You guys are sweet. I realize the need for trying to help people well without being like, I'm starting a 40-hour-a-week business. Like, I get it. I understand. I just haven't really known how to do this like well and concisely, because as you see, do you see what's happening here? It's not necessarily concise or straightforward, which is okay. That's part of like the beauty of it. But again, I don't want to leave you overwhelmed. I want to leave you like excited to help people and, you know, figure that out. So keep asking questions. Yeah, Lindsay, why don't give me a second to use the restroom, and then why don't we hop back on my personal Zoom room? Does that sound good? All right. Have a good night, everybody. We'll talk soon, okay?